At the beginning, Ren was shown thinking that it was time to head home and read manga. As Ren walked past some students, Ren mentally reacted with irritation, thinking, these assholes are here. Ren noticed the students talking among themselves, with one of them saying that Ren really liked that Hibiki girl, and another saying that it was love at first sight and that she was destined to be his girl, after which all of them laughed. Ren internally complained that delinquents were such a pain, and while continuing to walk, Ren thought that now Ren had to take a detour thanks to them. Ren considered the idea of love at first sight and thought that it was a load of bullshit. When Ren saw the cherry blossom tree, Ren recalled that even Ren's dad had said something weird that morning. Ren remembered that Ren's dad had told Ren to hurry up and get a girlfriend while Ren had been eating. Ren had responded in confusion, wondering what was up with that, and had insisted that Ren did not need a girlfriend. Ren's dad had replied that Ren was at the age where Ren should fall for someone. Ren had dismissed it by thinking that hell would freeze over before that. Ren then reflected that even as a kid, Ren had not been interested in romance, and while walking up the stairs, Ren thought that Ren had never once had a crush on an idol or an actress in Ren's life. Ren therefore concluded that even if the most beautiful girl were to appear right before Ren's eyes, there was no way Ren would fall in love like that. However, at that moment Ren saw a girl who had her eyes closed, and when the girl turned around, Ren, while blushing, thought that Ren would ever fall in love like that. Without fully understanding why, Ren suddenly grabbed the girl's hand and confessed by saying internally that Ren liked her and wanted her to go out with Ren. The girl reacted in surprise, and Ren, equally shocked, wondered what the hell was wrong with Ren. Ren thought that Ren did not know what had just happened and that this was a first for Ren. Ren realized that in just the blink of an eye, Ren had fallen for her hard and had confessed without thinking. Ren, still blushing, wondered why the girl was even considering this. The girl internally hesitated and thought about what to do, explaining that she had multiple personalities. Ren mentally repeated the phrase, multiple personalities, and wondered if she meant that her personality could change from time to time. The girl confirmed this thought internally and stated that she had 6 different personalities, each with different likes and dislikes. Ren repeated and thought that she had 6 personalities. The girl mentally added that all 6 had to be willing to accept Ren, and laughed weakly at the thought. After they sat on a bench, the girl internally expressed that Ren was probably grossed out and apologized, thinking that she was not worth it because she could not even make any friends, so a boyfriend was even less possible. Ren, however, mentally shouted that Ren still wanted to convince each and every one of her personalities. Ren acknowledged that it might be strange to say this, but admitted in thought that Ren had fallen for her the moment Ren saw her, and that Ren simply wanted to make her happy, even while Ren thought that it was an embarrassing thing to say. The girl then wondered internally if Ren was serious about this, and Ren affirmed mentally that Ren was dead serious. The girl blushed and thought that Ren was a strange guy but agreed that they should start by becoming friends first. The girl introduced herself internally as Tsubasa and told Ren to call her that. Ren reacted with excitement and introduced Ren's own name as Ren Narita. Tsubasa then thought that it might be a bit sudden but asked internally if Ren would be okay with meeting her other personalities. Ren agreed in thought, and Tsubasa explained mentally that they would be switching. Tsubasa added internally that she would pass out for a bit during the switch and would appreciate it if Ren supported her body at that time. Ren wondered if it was that easy to switch, and Tsubasa replied internally with nervous hesitation before concluding that she would leave Hibiki-chan in Ren's hands. Ren wondered where Ren had heard the name Hibiki-chan before. Tsubasa then closed her eyes and collapsed into Ren's arms, prompting Ren to react internally with concern, wondering if Tsubasa was okay. While supporting and hugging Tsubasa, Ren thought that Tsubasa looked even cuter up close. Suddenly, one of Tsubasa's other personalities emerged and internally warned, "Don't," before immediately punching Ren and thinking angrily, "Don't you fucking touch me." Ren fell to the ground in pain, and the personality mentally complained that to think she had been woken up in broad daylight like this, and questioned what the hell Ren thought Ren was doing to Tsubasa. Ren was shocked and mentally insisted that Ren did not do anything, except confess to Tsubasa because Ren had fallen in love with her at first sight. Hibiki reacted with disbelief and internally questioned whether Ren was some kind of playboy and whether Ren was aiming for Tsubasa's body. Ren firmly thought that this was not it at all, that Ren did not even have that kind of experience, that Ren really had fallen for Tsubasa the moment Ren saw her, and that this was also the first confession Ren had ever made. Hibiki wondered internally if Ren was really telling the truth or if Ren was just saying that to get in Tsubasa's pants, but then she paused and considered that Tsubasa had believed Ren. asking herself about that. Ren acknowledged internally that, well, yes, Tsubasa had believed Ren. Hibiki then decided that if Tsubasa believed Ren, she would trust Ren too, and she apologized in her thoughts for knocking Ren on Ren's ass earlier. Ren mentally insisted that it had been Ren's bad. Hibiki then observed that Ren was handling that punch really well. Ren wondered what she meant, and Hibiki told herself to hold up, thinking that maybe Ren had something. She evaluated Ren and thought, maybe you have potential. Ren wondered what Hibiki meant by potential, and Hibiki internally clarified that Hibiki really liked strong guys. Ren then thought about Hibiki liking strong guys and remembered that Tsubasa had said that she had 6 different personalities and that each of them had different likes and dislikes, with all 6 needing to be willing to accept Ren. Hibiki then declared internally that she wanted a man who was strong enough to protect her and that if Ren could not do that, then Hibiki would not approve. Ren responded with complete determination, thinking that Ren understood and that Ren would become stronger. Ren admitted internally that Ren had never been in a street fight or participated in combat sports, but Ren insisted mentally that Ren would shut Ren's self in a mountain and train. Ren then thought that Ren had never considered any of this until now, but that whatever Ren said to Hibiki came out so easily. Ren realized, with a blush, that it was the same with Tsubasa, and thought that Ren had fallen for Hibiki too. Ren reflected that when Ren was a kid, Ren had never taken anything seriously. Ren remembered that Ren's teachers had always told Ren that Ren could do anything as long as Ren put in the effort, but Ren had never done so. Ren acknowledged that this was just who Ren had been. But Ren felt that everything had completely changed and thought that falling in love was amazing. Ren then declared internally that Ren would train in the mountains until Ren could beat a bear. Hibiki reacted internally and wondered if Ren was serious. At that moment, someone else arrived, and a voice called out, "So there you are, Hibiki," revealing that it was a boy. The boy appeared and said that there Hibiki was. Hibiki reacted with irritation and thought, "You again, Goki." Ren recognized him and thought that Goki was the guy from earlier. Goki then declared that that day he would show Hibiki how strong he really was, and that after that she would become his woman. Ren immediately stepped in front of Hibiki, and Hibiki internally demanded to know what Ren thought Ren was doing, thinking that if someone like Ren fought Goki, Ren was going to break a few bones. Ren mentally responded that it sounded like it was going to hurt, but if that was what it took for Hibiki to accept Ren, Ren would face it head-on, no matter what it was. Hibiki reacted with shock. Goki, noticing this, thought loudly that Ren liked Hibiki too, and Goki punched Ren while insisting that Ren should fuck off because Hibiki was his. Ren fell to the ground, and Goki mocked Ren, calling him pathetic and asking Hibiki what was up with Ren. Hibiki explained internally that Ren had no fighting experience and that there was no way Ren was going to put up a fight. Goki then kicked Ren and insisted that Ren was way too weak and should just give up on Hibiki. Ren struggled to sit up and managed to say, "and no," and Goki reacted aggressively, questioning what Ren had said. Hibiki told Goki to stop bullying that weakling. Goki protested in his thoughts that he was not bullying Ren. Ren reflected on the word weakling. Ren and Goki continued fighting, while Hibiki ignored them, thinking, whatever, and noticing that something else was going on down below. Hibiki saw 2 kids, with one kid demanding to know why the other had not come to his house yesterday. The second kid apologized before falling to the ground, and the first kid insisted that he did not want any excuses and that he would not forgive him. Goki then pointed out to Hibiki that that was bullying, and that what Goki had done earlier was different. Hibiki asked for Goki's opinion on that situation. Goki declared that he saw it as the natural order of things, and Hibiki repeated internally that she saw it as the natural order of things. Goki walked down toward the kids, saying that since he was strong, he would go help the second kid out. Hibiki tried to stop him, but Goki continued. Goki grabbed the first kid and lifted him up, blaming him for making Hibiki think Goki was bullying Ren. The first kid demanded to know what Goki wanted, calling him a punk, and Goki's face turned angry as he demanded to know who the kid was calling a punk and warned the kid to watch himself. The kid responded by saying that Goki should quit acting like a punk then. Goki dropped the kid and insisted that he was not a punk. The kid declared that no matter how he looked at it, Goki was a punk. Goki's face twisted with anger as Goki thought that Goki was going to beat this kid just on the brink of crying, repeating to himself that he was going to beat this kid just on the brink of crying. Goki threw a punch, and the kid noticed it and attempted to dodge. But Goki saw that Goki's hand had been blocked by Ren from behind, and with an angry expression Goki shouted in frustration, demanding to know what Ren was doing. Ren told Goki that it was enough, and that Goki needed to stop. Goki, furious, punched Ren while shouting that small fry like Ren did not get to talk. Ren took the punch, and Goki immediately followed with another punch, and then a kick to Ren's stomach. The little boys watching were in shock as Ren fell to the ground. Ren struggled but managed to stand up again. Goki, surprised, wondered how Ren could still be standing when earlier Ren had been put on the ground so easily, demanding to know why Ren was trying to protect them. Ren answered that it was because they were crying. Goki, shocked, looked at them and saw that the little boys were indeed crying. Goki shouted at them, asking why they were crying when Goki was trying to save them. One of the boys looked scared, and Goki, confused, muttered in disbelief at the situation. Hibiki told Goki to stop, saying that Goki was looking really pathetic. Goki, stunned, questioned what Hibiki meant. Then one little boy turned to the other and apologized for pushing him, saying he did not want to become like Goki. The other boy also apologized, admitting he had gotten embarrassed because everyone kept making fun of him for playing with a girl. Goki, wide-eyed, thought to himself in shock that the brat had actually been a girl all along and realized he had almost messed up badly by nearly beating up an elementary school girl. Ren sat down as the children walked over to him. They apologized, saying Ren had got hit because of them. Ren reassured them not to worry about it and said Ren was just glad they were getting along. The boys apologized again. Goki, in disbelief, thought to himself that although they had just called Goki a punk, they were being respectful toward Ren. Hibiki then swung her bag lightly toward Ren and told Ren that Ren had been kind of cool for a little bit there. Ren blushed as Hibiki walked away. Goki quickly followed after Hibiki, demanding that Hibiki tell Goki he was cool too. Ren, still blushing, wondered if Ren had just made progress. The scene then shifted elsewhere, showing Hibiki walking in as Tsubasa sat on a desk. Tsubasa asked Hibiki how it was. Hibiki answered that Ren had potential. Someone nearby remarked that Hibiki was easy to please. Embarrassed and blushing, Hibiki angrily demanded what they meant by calling her easy to please, insisting she had only acknowledged Ren a little. The person stood up and teased Hibiki further, saying that was because they were a guy. The scene shifted to Ren at his house, where he was thinking that, in the end, he had been completely beaten up. He told himself that he was still far from the kind of guy who could protect Hibiki. He remembered Hibiki saying that she really liked strong guys, and he told himself that he needed to get stronger for her sake, though he wondered what he could even do. Suddenly, his father appeared behind him and commented that it looked like something was bothering him. Ren was shocked, turned around, and told his father not to sneak up on him like that. His father asked, with a smile, if Ren wanted to get stronger, and then, with a darker expression, said that Ren had finally found a girl he liked. Ren reacted in surprise. Later, Ren and his father sat in the hall on the sofa. His father asked what kind of girl she was, while Ren lay on the sofa and insisted that his father did not need to know. His father then said that if Ren wanted to get stronger for her sake, he knew a good place to start. Ren asked what place he meant. The scene shifted to a car driving through a jungle. His father wished him good luck and said he was rooting for him. Standing outside the car, Ren looked around and wondered where they were, realizing they were in the mountains. He saw a house and questioned why there was a run-down temple there. A man's voice suddenly answered, saying that calling it run-down was rude because they cleaned it once in a while. Ren saw a man carrying wood on his shoulder with an axe in his hand. Shocked by the sight of the wood, Ren fell to the ground and nervously apologized. He asked if that man ran the place, and the man replied that he was the head priest, introducing himself as Tatara and asking Ren to state his business. Ren explained that his father had told him he could get stronger if he came here. Tatara paused and asked if he was Ren. Once Ren confirmed it, Tatara said that it took him way back. Tatara then asked if he wanted to get stronger, and Ren answered enthusiastically that he did. Tatara told him to choose which path he wanted, an easier path that would help him get stronger but shorten his lifespan, or a dangerous path that would risk his life but, if he succeeded, would not shorten his lifespan. Tatara asked which he preferred. Ren wondered aloud if there was even an easy way to get stronger. Tatara told him there was, then opened a door, explaining that Ren only had to abandon his humanity. Ren saw what was inside and reacted in shock. Meanwhile, Hibiki sat at a desk thinking that, in any case, she believed Ren must be in trouble when he suddenly sent her out. She wondered what was wrong and asked herself if something had happened, even wondering if another guy had tried to hit on her. Tsubasa pushed her and told her to hurry up and go. Tsubasa apologized, admitting that if she told Hibiki the truth, Hibiki would not go along with it. Hibiki replied that she did not open shop for just any guy. Tsubasa admitted that she wanted Hibiki to meet him because she knew Hibiki would like him. Hibiki said that maybe Tsubasa was right. Hibiki then recalled the fight earlier and thought that she wished someone like him had been there for them back then. A flashback appeared, showing 6 people in a dark room. A little girl cried and called out, "Tsubasa Wani-chan." Tsubasa hugged her and told her to calm down, reassuring her that everything was okay. Hibiki also comforted the little girl, telling her not to worry because the next time he came, Hibiki would beat him up. The girl asked if that was true, and Hibiki told her yes. Someone else interrupted, telling Hibiki not to get the girl's hopes up because she could not win against that monster. That person grabbed Hibiki by the collar. Hibiki shouted back, demanding that he shut up and asking what kind of idiot assumed they would lose before trying. She called him a coward for a guy. The other person told her that being reckless and being brave were not the same. Footsteps suddenly echoed. A girl warned that he was coming. Everyone became terrified as the footsteps stopped. A man entered and said that it was time to begin the day's experiments, insisting it was for the better and that even if they died, they would not truly be dead. Hibiki's face twisted in fear as she cried. The man continued, saying that they would all be reborn as one personality for the perfect human. The scene shifted, and someone said that they were okay with abandoning their humanity. Ren was standing and saw a paw, then exclaimed internally in shock that it was a bear. The bear bowed and introduced herself as Miko. Ren bowed back and greeted her. Tatara patted the bear and explained that she was Ren's senior. Ren was stunned and thought it was strange that the bear had spoken. Tatara told him that if he became like this, he could become strong. Ren asked if becoming like this meant turning into a bear, and Tatara replied that it did. Miko explained that bears were some of the strongest creatures, but that their average lifespan was only about 30 years. Ren muttered that it was just bear things. Tatara then asked why Miko had chosen to turn into a bear. In a flashback, Miko explained that she had become a bear so that she could continue living. Ren was confused, but Miko told him that living as a bear was not so bad. Ren then thought about a scene where Tsubasa ran to hug the bear, saying that he had actually gotten stronger, and Ren had answered yes. Tsubasa had complained that it was too hot to get near him during summer, and during winter he was hibernating, so they could not meet. Ren realized that if he became a bear, he would have less time to spend with the people he loved. Miko admitted that this was true. Tatara said that in that case, they would have to go with the other method. Ren asked if that meant he was supposed to risk his life. Tatara replied that if there were a safer way, he would have chosen it, but such a way simply did not exist. The way Ren had to risk his life guaranteed he would get stronger. Tatara then asked if Ren knew that people were not able to use 100% of their strength all the time. Ren said that he had read something like that in a manga once. Tatara explained that the human brain placed limiters on the body so it would not break down. If someone exerted all of their power, the body would not be able to withstand it. Pointing to his own head, Tatara said that no matter how much someone trained, the brain would never unlock the limiter by itself. To break it, one had to be willing to die, and when the brain sensed life-threatening danger, it released endorphins that temporarily removed the limiter. Ren admitted that he did not really understand, but said that he would give it a try. With a frightening expression, Tatara told him to remember those words. Ren's face grew tense, and they started to walk. Tatara said that the first part awaited and told him to come. They entered the jungle, and soon Ren stood at the peak of a mountain, marveling that the view was great. Miko told him that he was too calm and did not realize what was coming, adding that he would wish he had chosen to be a bear instead. When Ren turned back in confusion, Tatara explained that beneath the cliff were monsters created through his research. Ren was stunned. Tatara warned him that if he died, he would never see the woman he loved again or be able to protect her. Ren hesitated. Suddenly, Tatara shoved him off the cliff, telling him to try to stay alive. Ren fell while screaming and crashed onto the ground, groaning that he thought he was a goner. As he caught his breath, he heard noises around him. In the darkness of the jungle, glowing eyes stared at him. The scene shifted, and Riku was looking at his phone, saying to himself that Ren was not coming. Riku decided it was fine because he could play games while waiting, and he lay on his bed. Tsubasa wondered what Ren was up to, and Hibiki said she remembered him mentioning something about wanting to train in the mountains to become stronger or something like that. Riku thought that surely they were just joking. Then a bell rang, and Tsubasa wondered if it could be Narita-san, although she thought he should not know the location of their house. Riku said to himself that he would meet and shake things up in just 5 seconds, and he walked to the door. When he opened it, he saw Ren covered in blood. In fear, Riku shouted internally, wondering what the heck was happening, and Ren collapsed to the ground, saying that training in the mountains with bears was serious. Riku sat near him and wondered what was up with this person. Tsubasa realized that Ren had actually been training in the mountains and, with a smile, thought that it was as expected of Narita. Riku questioned why she was falling for this and called Ren a dangerous person. Hibiki blushed and thought that he had done it for her sake. Riku, frustrated, wondered why she was getting excited too. Tsubasa teased that Riku was still a kid, while Hibiki smiled. Riku insisted that the problem was just them being weird, and thought that even if he were a girl, he would not want a boyfriend who suddenly went off to the mountains to train. Tsubasa said they should stop worrying about that and just take care of Ren, clean him up, and treat his wounds. Riku's face grew tense, and a flashback appeared. During mountain training, someone had said that Ren had gotten strong. On the first day, he had been chased by bears. On the second day, he had fought. By the third day, he could easily grab a bear's claws. On the fourth day, a bear had said that Ren was pretty impressive for a mere human. Miko praised everyone, saying they had done a great job, and one bear had asked if she really thought so. The flashback ended, and Ren opened his eyes and found himself on a bed. He asked where he was. Someone responded that he was such a dumbass. Ren looked and asked what they meant. Riku told him that going all out just because he had a crush was unbelievable and that Riku could not wrap his head around it. Ren answered yes. Riku introduced himself as Riku and thought it was nice to meet him. Ren replied that he saw and, smiling, said that he would do his best to make Riku fall for him. Riku smiled as well and said it was impossible, calling Ren his friend. Ren was confused, and Riku explained that it was because he was a guy. Ren was shocked and asked if that was true. Riku told him that if he understood, he should give up and go home already. Ren refused and said he would not give up, declaring internally that he would do anything to make Riku fall in love with him, even cross-dressing, and if that did not work, undergoing a gender transformation. Riku was shocked and told him he did not need to go that far, adding that Tsubasa and Hibiki would probably hate it. Tsubasa said she was totally fine with it, and thought Narita as a girl would be cute too. Hibiki added that love did not care about gender. Riku sighed and thought that they were an exception. He then added that if Ren was going to talk like that, why not try cross-dressing? Riku wondered aloud if they could really walk together like that, thinking there was no way he could do something so embarrassing. Ren smiled and said he could do it if that was what Riku wanted, and with a cheerful expression, said that a date sounded exciting. Tsubasa said she would lend him some clothes and help with his makeup, calling it great for Riku. Riku insisted that he really did not want to, while thinking that they were going on a date next time. Tsubasa then asked why Narita was even there, since she had never told him the location of her house. Ren said he guessed he unconsciously followed her scent or something. The scene switched to Hibiki, who banged a paper on Ren's head and asked if he was a dog. The scene shifted, and Riku was standing at a train station, sighing and wondering why such a thing had to happen to him, thinking that it was a date with a cross-dressing guy. Seriously. Riku then heard people commenting in surprise, saying that the girl over there was super cute and asking whether she was an idol or something. When Riku turned, he saw a girl with long black hair and red lips. Riku blushed and thought that she was so cute, that cute girl, and that he might be seeing someone like her for the first time in his life. The black-haired girl looked around, and Riku, blushing more, thought that she was coming closer. When the girl smiled at him, Riku felt even more flustered and thought that he was smitten, wondering if he should confess, while reminding himself that her body was that of a woman. The girl approached him and apologized for making him wait, calling him Riku-kun. Riku was shocked and asked if the girl was really Narita. Ren confirmed it. Riku reacted in disbelief and mentally questioned what was going on with that ridiculously expensive cross-dressing skill Ren had suddenly pulled out of nowhere. Ren explained that he had done his best to research it on social media for Riku's sake and that Tsubasa had helped him too, so he wondered if it looked a little weird. Riku, blushing, turned his face and admitted that he guessed he was pretty fond of it. Ren then suggested that they go to the arcade, reminding Riku that he was a big fan of games and asking if it was okay. Riku said yes and added that he was into gaming too. They played table tennis, arcade games, and shooting games, while Riku wondered to himself why he was enjoying a date with a guy so effortlessly. When Ren asked which song they should play next, Riku thought that Ren had become super cute and that Ren could play games with him, making Ren his ideal girlfriend, but he reminded himself again that Ren was just a guy. Ren smiled at him, and Riku blushed. shook his head, and told himself again that, after all, Ren was still just a guy. Then someone appeared behind them. The narration shifted, describing that the man was longing for something. Shikoru Fusuki, 25 years old, born in the freezing land of the north, had lived a life of solitude. He could not find any interest in anything in this world and could not love either men or women. For the first time in his life, he had found someone, but that someone had been a boy in disguise. He had come to Japan searching for the genuine article, but what he wanted did not exist. There was no such thing as a true Otoko no Ko. The realization hurt, but then he saw Riku and Ren, and to make matters worse, there were two of them. Blushing, he thought again that, to make matters worse, there were two of them. He suddenly hugged Riku and Ren from behind and begged them to marry him. Both Riku and Ren were shocked. Ren told him to let go of them and kicked the man in the face. Riku, confused, wondered what had just happened, while Ren said that he was so happy he had been able to protect someone for the first time and that it felt great after all the training he had gone through. Riku praised him, saying he was amazing. As they walked away, Ren asked Riku how he felt about their date that day. Riku said that it had been kind of fun and added that, as a friend, he did not mind hanging out with him occasionally. Ren's eyes lit up, and he thanked Riku, saying that he would keep doing his best so that Riku could fall in love with him. Riku blushed while the man followed behind them, thinking that the real deal Otokonoko was totally his type. Later, Hibiki asked Ren how on earth he had become so strong. Ren smiled and explained that he had trained with a bear. Hibiki repeated the words, asking in disbelief if it had really been with a bear. Riku muttered that it was so weird. Hibiki, blushing, said that for her, it was because he had trained with a bear. Riku grew more exasperated and asked whether that was really supposed to cause a racing heart.